Good morning, YouTube. This is Los Angeles Prepper, and today we're going to do something a little crazy. We're going to get a little crazy here. We're going to do some cooking. Yeah. And let's see where. I think my mic's on the bottom, so hopefully, maybe I'll leave this door open. I kind of don't like it in my face, but we're going to be doing some crock pot magic today, and start this off. Gonna grab a couple latex gloves. I'm normally not, it's not like I'm a germaphobe or anything. It's just that I want to remove the skin from the chicken, and even though I can get my hands pretty clean after washing them, just stuff like getting chicken grease under your nails, and I'm not trying to handle all this food after having all that chicken grease all up in it. Now I could do all the vegetables and then prep the chicken, but I want to I want to put the chicken on the bottom, but actually maybe I don't even want to put the chicken on the bottom. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move. I think I'm going to put this over here, kind of not quite off camera. And let's start with first, since last time I made a crock pot, somebody, I won't name names, was mentioning that the High Life that I was drinking was of poor quality. So we're going to add some Blue Moon to this magic. Last night's Blue Moon that I drank 2/3 of a can and fell asleep. But anyways, this stuff's pretty good. It's got some like orange spice. It's a white beer. Not too shabby. So step number 1. Add a little bit of beer. These are some carrots that I got last week. They're still doing pretty good in the fridge, but to be honest, I eat carrots normally, but I was going to say that I don't exactly just eat carrots like straight up eat carrots, although they're pretty good like that. But let's just go ahead and clean these up a little bit. And if you're wondering why I'm using a small little chintzy knife, it is because I have not bought a nice fancy chef knife to replace the last one that I had, which was also not a fancy fucking hell, that's awesome. Just drop my darn. One of the joys of having 20 inches of counter space. Gosh, the thing is, the oven's right there, so I can't exactly. I used to have this board that I would like put over it. Maybe the chicken will save me. Anyways. I don't do a lot of meal prepping, to be honest. I really should. It's a phenomenal way to save money and time and energy. And dishes. Just dishes for that matter. In fact, I think the reason I am going to start doing it is just to save dishes, if anything. Alright, so we got these guys kind of cleaned up a little bit. And last time I didn't peel the carrots, I just kind of scrubbed them, and to be honest, no matter how well you scrub them, I tend to find that they sort of add a little bit more of a dirt-like flavor. The potatoes too, there's a lot of nutrients in the skin, so I try to be gentle, not get too crazy when I'm peeling them. But I've definitely found that it adds to the overall quality of the crock pot to just kind of lightly sort of I really don't want to put those down the sink. Another thing worth mentioning, if you did want to use these, they'd make really epic carrot cake. So if you wanted to like scrub your carrots and then peel them, you could use the peels to make some carrot cake and then kind of double up on your carrot usage. Carrot cake's the best. I should do a separate video on carrot cake. I love carrot cake. Of course, I love the icing on carrot cake too, but... And hopefully this will be a relatively short video. It actually doesn't take that long to prep crock pots, which is why they're really cool. Besides the fact that, you know, you never really burn stuff. It's even the chicken, it gets a little bit overcooked. And in fact, to be honest, if I was going to be a little more careful about it, I might... The vegetables always seem to take longer than the chicken. Like if I have it on high, that's probably about 2.5 hours to finish the chicken and maybe 3 to 4 hours to really get the vegetables nice and soft. So I could put the chicken in a little bit later, but that kind of defeats the whole convenience of the crock pot. So granted, the chicken's going to come out maybe just a little more done than it needs to be, but if I put it in frozen, maybe I could kind of avoid that. So we got our carrots. I'm going to go ahead and dump the cutting board in the trash so I'm not making an ungodly mess. Alright, we got a potato from last week. Getting a little... I mean, I guess potatoes keep for kind of a long time, but I don't know. I think you have to keep them like at room temperature and the humidity and everything has to be just right. I don't think a fridge is necessarily the perfect conditions for a potato. Man, and this peeler is just a piece of garbage. And it's relatively new, too. It's a cheap little $2 dollar store Pillsbury one, but man, I'm really disappointed at how much trouble I'm having with this right now. Although this potato could just be really hard. Yeah, that's good enough. Maybe that one, and that one, and let's go. You know, I'm not being super like... Not getting too crazy about every single square inch of... although I do kind of want to clean out these little brown spots, just if only for taste. I don't think you're going to get that sick eating a little part of... Slightly... In fact, theoretically this peeler is supposed to have that little eye digger outer. Give this guy a couple chops just to make sure that gets nice and cooked. All right. I'm actually going to throw in a couple of pears because I thought I had an onion, but I don't have an onion, so I figured what better way to use these pears than to sweeten up this chicken. You know, a lot of people do like apples with chicken, and I thought, why not do some pears? I can compare the results, but so let's just kind of dig that guy out. I wonder. That guy. Yeah, these pears didn't ripen a bit in the fridge. You're not really supposed to keep them in the fridge, but I didn't. It's kind of been warm on and off here a couple days, and I really didn't want to lose them. Yeah, as hard as a rock. But we cooked this baby for 8 hours. I think it's going to be just fine. Let's see, 10 o'clock, 8, 6 o'clock. Yeah, maybe I'll put this baby on high. I'm hungry. Although I think I'm going to have a little more breakfast in a little bit, so maybe I will put it on low. And this meal, as far as how much this meal cost, I mean, that's about 50 cents of carrots, about 30 cents of pears, maybe 50 cents of pears. I don't know, like 25 cents worth of potatoes. So like $1 of vegetables, maybe a couple dollars of chicken. I think I paid $1.29 a pound for that chicken or something. So, oh, forgot this guy. Whoops. All right, so we got that go. Oh, got that little seed out of there. All right, so we got our carrots, we got our potato, we got our pears. Now, grab some of this chicken that I just pulled out from the freezer, and in fact, let's go ahead and save my cutting board a little bit of. So I'm actually going to see, wow, if I can. I'm trying to break the joint. There we go. I'm going to break the joints. And then go ahead and cut through that. Pull the skin off real quick, trying to get it all kind of at once. And this is where the gloves come in nice and handy, because you can typically get a little more grip and it won't get as slippery as your skin. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, it's not working. There we go. All right. I got a beautiful looking leg. Yep. Smells good. And this chicken is really cold. Like, my hands are freezing right now. Whew. This has been in the fridge. Like, there's still little parts that are a little icy. It's been in the fridge for 2 days. Thawing. Kind of crazy. Oh, that was not a good pull at all. God damn. I've actually seen people use pliers to pull the skin off, and that's not a terrible idea. I just don't have kitchen pliers, although maybe I will someday. Oh man, this thing's freezing. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. All right, get this little guy. Kind of tough little. Yeah, we'll leave that. All right, nice looking thigh. Throw that guy in. On to the next one. Let's see if we can kind of break that leg. Come in here. Like so. Oh, nice. Just nicked it. Come in here. We'll get Get all this business off. There we go. Get that big piece off. Maybe I'll clean up. You know, the chicken's got a lot of fat on it. For any of you wondering, like, why are you cutting off all that skin? That's all the flavor. Because I don't like little... I don't need to eat that much fat, to be honest. And I just don't really like... When you boil it, you know, it just kind of gets like slimy. And I mean, I could fry it up and make some crackling out of it or something. I actually need to get a new cast iron pan, so I couldn't even fry it up if I wanted to. I could try to debone this right now if I wanted to, but the bones have a lot of flavor. And honestly, they get hot. And they really help cook it all the way through. I love bone-in cooking. I think it's the only way to go, to be honest. I mean, if I find a good price on some boneless stuff, I'll get it, but just because I don't need to pay for the bone. But bone, you're gonna get a lot of flavor from that bone. All right, let's get this last little piece off. All right, so that is, and let me rinse off at least some of the goobers from this knife. I'm actually going to put all this nasty chicken stuff in the freezer for now, because if I put it in my garbage in a couple days, it's going to be terrible. So I'll wait a couple days until our garbage comes, and then I will throw that. In fact, I might have to take this stuff out anyways, because I got a lot of stuff in here now. Usually try to be really careful with putting food in the garbage just because it just gets bad. So, coming up on 17 minutes. Wow. Now, let's throw the crock pot on high, do some quick seasoning real quick. That's super quick. All right, salt. Not normally scientific, but let's go 2 teaspoons of salt. It's actually not really a lot compared to how much food this is. Let's go some... I actually don't have a very good selection of salts. Kind of embarrassing. Paprika. Not really my favorite chicken flavor, but adds just kind of a little bit of heartiness. Throw in some cayenne pepper, one of my favorite go-to flavor enhancers. Going to be kind of some spicy sweet with the cayenne and the pear. One thing I've been doing recently with chicken, which brings out just a really fascinating flavor, is just a touch of cinnamon. And I think with the pear, the cinnamon's really going to help give it sort of a rich, earthy, and just a little bit. Like the cinnamon actually goes a long way. It's one of my favorite spices. Don't have a lot of other stuff that would be really good. I'm not really trying to throw in garlic or onion powder. I could throw in some sugar, but you know, the carrots and the pears have some sugar in them on their own. I have a can of corn I could throw in, but yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling that can of corn in here. I like corn enough by itself, although it would certainly go perfect in there, and honestly, there's fluid in it too, so maybe I will throw this can of corn in here. I just love corn so much, I almost want to save it. All right, look at that. Even more goodness. Only thing that I don't like about throwing the corn is the corn's already cooked, so I don't really need to boil the corn for 8 hours, but it'll give it some good corn goodness. We'll throw this over on our crock pot. Oh, the yams. Oh my gosh, I gotta throw these yams in here. All right, well, I'm gonna stop the video. I'm gonna throw these in. You don't need to watch that, but that was 20 minutes of cooking with LA Prepper. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see if we can come back later and show you what's going on in the crock pot, which is, well, it's over that way. The camera's kind of set up, but thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.